I thought you said boss office. I was like, what is new at the boss office? Lots to get to this week, starting with two fandom movies. First up, the new Aquaman. Let's start with Rad being here. Firstly, I'm not the expert on this. You are. Good morning to you.
I'm the boss office.
You are the boss. You are the boss of the movies. That's certainly happening today. Okay, so let's talk about all of these movies. The Aquaman sequel, it was delayed. Where are we at now?
Well, I mean, it was delayed, and at this point, you have to understand this is also like the last whimper of the DCEU franchise that Zack Snyder had set up. You understand? So this is like the end of the era of the characters, the universe with like Ben Affleck's Batman and the Flash, you know, Ezra Miller's The Flash. Like they're done with this and moving on. And you could tell that everyone kind of checked out early here because this movie just feels like it was just allowed to float into theaters and everyone's like, why bother? Because it is, you know, bad acting, bad cringy CGI, and also like this awkwardness of like, let's just put Amber Heard over here in a corner.
Oh yeah, that's a whole subtext
that's a whole
too,
thing
right?
too, yeah. So it is just kind of a disaster. And the only people I think that are going to really be committed to going out to this is the people who want to pour one out for the DCEU before the whole thing is rebooted under James Gunn's watch.
So you're saying you didn't like it? Moving on, okay. Zack Snyder, you talked about Zack Snyder. He also has a new movie on Netflix, Rebel Moon?
Yeah, Rebel Moon. So, yeah, exactly. As soon as this one franchise of his is like going away, he's starting up a new one over at Netflix. And this is like Zack Snyder's like Star Wars movie. Or more specifically, it's Zack Snyder's like space fantasy that is inspired by the same kind of Akira Kurosawa samurai movies that inspired Star Wars. So this is essentially a space remake of The Seven Samurai. It's about a young rebel who is trying to protect a village that is under threat by a colonizing force by going out and hunting down other rebels like her to fight and protect them. And look, Zack Snyder, you know, he is a singular force for better or for worse because he has these slow motion, bombastic action visuals that really inundate you. And, you know, at times I'm watching this and I'm like, man, I wish more franchise movies found the visual grace notes that he looks for. At other times I'm like, man, I wish someone helped him with his writer's notes and helped with the writing because he operates in cliches and, you know, like a really operatic dialogue that, you know, that isn't drowned out by some of the great action in the movie.
Okay, let's talk about maybe a family movie. Migration, what's this one?
You know, if you felt underserved by Disney's Wish, because let's face it.
Oh, I heard a lot. That's what I was hearing from everybody. It was just not a strong one.
So make up to your kids by taking them to Migration. It is such a funny, witty family movie.
It's so cute.
Yeah, it's ducks. It's about a daddy duck, you know, who's very, very afraid of leaving the nest, who finally decides, let's migrate to Jamaica for the winter.
Oh, funny.
So it's like National Lampoon's Family Vacation, but with ducks, with snowbirds. And the thing is, this is a movie, I think what a lot of people don't know is this is actually written by Mike White, the guy who made The White Lotus.
No way.
So, yeah, so some of that sardonic energy from The White Lotus, at vacation, yet another vacation tale, makes it into this movie, and it is absolutely a delight.
Awesome. I mean, it looks great. Okay, so put that one on the list. What about American Fiction? What's that about?
So American Fiction is kind of the big Oscar contender that's opening today. This is a movie, it's a hilarious comedy about a black author played by Jeffrey Wright who is struggling with a publishing industry that really wants him to kind of peddle narratives about black trauma and black poverty. And so he, frustrated by the kind of cliches they want him to peddle, he writes a novel with all the cliches he could muster, all the black tropes he could muster, and it becomes a runaway hit. So this is basically like an audience-friendly version of Spike Lee's Bamboozled. And the thing is, it's hilarious, audiences love it, and that's kind of part of its failure. Like, its success is actually a sign that it failed, because it's not, the fact that it's a movie that's criticizing the Hollywood apparatus, but a product of the Hollywood apparatus, the fact that it's a movie that's holding an audience to a higher standard, and yet the audiences are loving it, it kind of indicates to you that it's not implicating the audience the way it might be meant to. That being said, it's really entertaining. It's definitely a movie that gives you a lot of food for thought, so definitely check that out.
Okay, and what about The Iron Claw?
Zac Efron. You gotta see this guy.
Honestly, I did a double take.
Yeah.
Because in my head, look at him like he's in high school, obviously.
I know, it's like if High School Musical got steroids, right?
That's 100%.
So, but like this, honestly, actually, we shouldn't be making jokes. It's a really sad story. Actually, like they Zac Efron and, you know, Jeremy Allen White from The Bear, they are playing Von Erich brothers, which is a wrestling dynasty. These siblings that competed in the wrestling circuit in the early 80s, and basically basically a really tragic story. This family has dealt one tragedy after another. And what I really admire about this movie is this movie is admirably restrained. Like, it doesn't try to milk or sensationalize their tragedy, but to a fault, to a point where it feels like they're not really getting, like the filmmaker's not able to make it very meaningful. And that's probably why this was like a big awards contender that is unfortunately not being nominated for any awards.
Oh, it's not been nominated for anything?
No, but again, Zac Efron gives a great performance, a surprisingly great performance,
Okay.
and the movie is a really solid drama.
Okay, great, Rad. Good to see you. Thanks for teeing all of those up for us.
Thanks for
Happy
having me.
holidays.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked this, be sure to subscribe here, or you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.